Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we continue our 2020 webinar series with Webex is all in on education. Experience firsthand how to use Webex for hybrid and distance learning. I'm Niki Eastley, Marketing Manager from the Webex Collaboration Product Marketing team. And today we have Devinder. Thanks for being our speaker. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is Devinder Kathuria. I am part of the product management team for Webex meetings. And I'm delighted to be here with you to share what we are doing, all the good things we are doing with Webex for educators. Just a brief intro about myself. Devinder Kathuria. I'm leading the education strategy for Webex portfolio. That includes Webex Teams, Webex meetings together.
Great. Thanks so much, Devinder. Devinder has over 20 years experience building a wide variety of software products in the enterprise collaboration, where he has contributed to enterprise telephony, enterprise social software, conferencing, and team messaging products. So we're excited for Devinder to be with us today. Thanks so much. So let's get started. Devinder, today there have been a surge into distance and hybrid learning. Educators need to engage and reach students anywhere, anytime, outside traditional classroom settings. So using technology to deliver lessons and materials, it's even more important for schools to utilize technology that's secure. But we've found that some schools have been experiencing challenges with their security. People are joining classes that shouldn't be. Can you show some security enhancements and talk about what Webex has in place where teachers don't have to worry about uninvited guests joining their classes?
Sure, Nikki. So let me just, start with stating that for Webex, security is not an afterthought. We have the security as a part of our DNA. And from the get-go, the Webex has always been, making sure that anytime you schedule the meetings, you schedule the classes, they are all secured. Now, we also understood from teachers that, when they are trying to schedule these classes, at times they get concerned about those security aspects. So what we have done is we have provided some knobs. And I'm going to talk about those knobs, and then I'm going to show you, how this will look like. So there are three key focus areas, I'm going to, we have changed or make improvements upon. One, we have the scheduling templates. So as a teacher, when you are trying to schedule your classes, you can pick and choose those scheduling templates. The two main templates are schedule a class or schedule with guest. And as I walk through my screen, I'm going to share you that what the key features of those templates are. In addition to that, we have these session types, which are designed for the educators. Okay, and the last but not least, whenever as an educator, we are provisioning your site, we will have certain knobs configured in such a way that anytime you are in a class, those classes will be secured. So with that, let me share my screen to show you all of these things what I just talked about.
Great.
Okay, so sharing my screen. So I'll start with showing you the templates. So as I schedule my my classes, so what you will notice here is there are these two templates: schedule a class, schedule with guest. So schedule a class means that whenever I, as a teacher, is scheduling classes where I'm going to just invite all of my students, so I'm going to pick and choose this template. So what we have done in this template is that when you look at it in terms of our options, so let's go to scheduling options, and you would notice is that all the attendees, they need to have an account. So what this would do is it will ensure that anytime anyone is trying to join that class, they have to have an account. So that means that as a student, even if you try to share the link with a friend or a friend of a friend, they will not be able to join that class unless they are part of the same organization. And if they are, they will have their name associated with that. So you know that who are the students who have joined this class. Now, we also understand there are situations when you have to include guests. That could be a guest speaker, that could be a parent-teacher conferences. So for those scenarios, you would pick and choose, schedule with guest as a template. Okay, that's the one area which we have introduced in terms of making your classes more secured. The second area is that we have this session type, and I'm going to go very quickly go over that. So when I go to my configurations, I go to the settings, and I go to the session types. So you would notice is that we have now this new session type which are designed for the educators. So whether you are trying to schedule a meetings or an event or a training, we have a unique session type for you. Okay, and as you click on that, this just talks about what are the different configurations we have enabled for you by default, and the things what we have disabled for you by default, considering the fact that we want to make sure that your classes are always secured. Now, the third area we have made improvement is that we have introduced some common site settings. So, when you go to here and you go to options, there are certain knobs which we have, configured in a way that your classes are always secured. So, and for you to get more details about those knobs, you can go to our Webex education page, and from there, as you go to the security settings, so you can click on that. I talked about the templates, and then this is where we have all of the secure settings. Now, what's going to happen is, for the sites which are being configured or provisioned after Webex release 40.9, all of these settings, the session types, will be available for you. You don't have to do anything at all. But if you have a site which is provisioned before 40.9, then we have all of these help articles where you can go and you can pick and choose those configurations and enable on your sites. So these are all the areas what we have done to really make sure that your sites are secured, so that when as a teacher you are scheduling your classes, you have a peace of mind that my classes will not be interrupted.
Thanks so much, Devinder. It really looks simple and secure, and a great way for our customers to enable those security enhancements. So thanks so much for walking through those. Now that we've heard that students and teachers are struggling joining and starting their remote classes, meeting invitations and passwords are in different locations, and this results in students being late joining their classes. How has Webex addressed this concern? Can you introduce Webex Classrooms and show us how students would view and join their classes?
Sure. So Niki, I'm very excited to talk about Webex Classrooms. So let me take a step back and give you a view from where Webex is coming from, and that view is essentially derived by what the feedback we have received from our educators. And those educators include our students, our teachers, and the administrators who actually enable the online experience in their institutions. So one of the biggest beef is for the teachers and administrators is that whenever we schedule the classes, at times, if the teachers are not paying attention, or for a variety of reasons, whether the students have the link which they could pass to their friends, and the friends can join those classes. We have done here is that as a student, I have this simple portal, classrooms.webex.com. I log in here, and the way I will log in is I will either use the single sign-on, assuming that in your institution you have single sign-on enabled. However, if you haven't enabled the single sign-on, I'm going to use the Webex credentials to log in. So as I log in, essentially, this is where I would see all of my upcoming classes. Now, as you would notice here is there are no links. What they have is simply an option where they will be able to join the classes. So as I click on that, the students will have the option where they join the classes. So for those students, again, no links available, because we feel that the links can be disruptive. As a student, I go here, I select that link, and I will be in the class. Now, because I'm logged into this interface, that means that my identity is known to the teachers. So there is nothing I can pass on. There is nothing I have which I can pass on, which someone can post on the Instagram or share with the friends. Nothing of that nature will happen. Again, this goes back to the previous comment I made. We take security seriously, and this is how we are trying to make sure is that the students, when they are joining the classes, these are the authenticated students. Now, in addition to that, when as a student, if for some reason, if I have missed my classes or I have to refresh what has been taught in the previous classes, I have the easy option where I can go to the recordings, and this is where the recording of all of my previous classes will be available. Okay, so now I just want to take this opportunity also to talk about a couple of new features what we are bringing in terms of recording. For most of the students who are in higher ed or even the high schools, they can relate the need for a note takings. So what's going to happen here is that we have integrated, or for the teachers who already are aware of Webex Assistant. So with a Webex Assistant, now you can get the transcript of all the classes. In addition to that, you can also get the highlights. So what we will be doing is we will leverage those highlights, and that will become our note taking. So in addition to the recordings, we will also have the notes available for those classes. Okay. Now, your use case could be that, hey, this is all fine, but a lot of time what happens is I have this upcoming quiz, and I really need to quickly go and jump and see that what was the chapter which was taught for that particular session. When was that happened? I will have an option where I can search. I can search in the recordings, or I can actually have the recordings based on the dates. I can say that I missed the classes from September 5th through September 7th. So all you have to do is go here and then search for those recordings, and those recordings will be available to you at your fingertips.
That's great from an ease of use perspective, Devinder. It's great to see everything centralized so that the students don't have to hunt around, find their recordings, find their invitations to join. So this looks really exciting. Can you explain a little bit more deeper about how this is set up and what automated abilities Webex Classrooms has for teachers to kind of streamline their processes?
Absolutely. So again, when we are thinking about the whole interface, we have the ease of use, simplicity, and security. Those are the two main things which are in the back of our mind all the time. So while we are trying to make the whole experience a lot more simpler, and I'm going to talk about how simple it will look like. Okay, as a teacher, when I log in for the first time, I will have my classes which I'm scheduled to teach for this semester already there. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit later that how these classes are coming here. But, the classes are here. I click on one of the class. And here you would see all of the upcoming schedule, that when these classes are happening. Right now, when I look at, and I can go ahead here and, if I have more classes to schedule, I'm going to go here and I'm going to schedule a new class. I can say that, this is machine learning with this class is happening on September 8th, whatever the time I want to pick and choose. And I say, okay, and I can choose which center I want to have this class on. I can, make it, weekly if my schedules are based on what my schedules are, and I will create the session. The magic what's happening behind the scene is, since I already know who are the students who are enrolled in that course, in that particular course, so I'm going to automatically include all of those students and have the join link available for all the students' calendar, so that when the students, as we saw in the student interface, as they log in, they will have a join option to join those classes. Now, this part is right now very much manual. In the future, what we will also do is, and again, I'm talking about the future is within the next few weeks, what we will be doing is, since we already know that what time your classes are scheduled, who are the teachers who are in those classes, what classroom you will be teaching those classes on, assuming it's a hybrid learning environment. We are going to go and automatically schedule those classes for you. So we are taking away one less hassle from your, from you, and make it a lot more, ease of use. And by the way, as we are talking about ease of use, again, security is because these classes are scheduled on our secured environment, so they will be all secured. Okay. Now, a couple of more things I want to highlight here is, as I'm talking about scheduling of classes, when the classes are done, this is where you would have the previous all the previous classes which I have conducted, and this is where I will have the recording of the classes. So again, this is one simple interface where I can schedule the classes, I can have the recordings uploaded. And by the way, talking about the recording, one more thing I want to highlight: these recordings will be available automatically after the classes are over. There is nothing you have to do as a teacher, no separate, so to speak, steps you need to perform. As soon as your classes are done, you would see that the recordings will be automatically uploaded in this interface.
Those are great enhancements to have, an ease for the teachers, one less administrative step for them in managing distant and hybrid learning. So this looks really exciting. So can you take us one step further? I know that we also enable teachers an easy way to set up office hours right inside Webex Classrooms, and also perhaps manage or track student attendance. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Before I do that, Niki, probably I would take a couple of minutes to also give you the recipe that how we are actually bringing in those classes into classrooms.
Sure. Yeah, okay. SIS, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially we have, this is my admin view right now. So as an administrator, essentially all I have to do is, I go to my terms here, and I have two ways to really bring in all of my courses into the classrooms. We support integrating with all of the leading student information systems. So we understand that for a good number of schools, they already have SIS where they have the information about the courses, who are the teachers teaching those courses, their schedule in terms of what time those classes will be happening, and also the students who are being enrolled in those courses. Okay, so if you already have SIS, we will simply integrate with the SIS. However, we also understand that there are a good number of schools who do not have SIS, because let's accept the fact, not every school has been thinking about digitizing. A lot of these schools, they have been, suddenly, brought into this whole hybrid learning environment.
Right.
So for such schools, we have a very simple way. It's basically, we, as an administrator, we will give you a template of the CSV, and this is how the template will look like. Let me just, share my screen here. So when I go here and I look at the template, so in the template, all you have to provide is the course code. This is the unique course ID. And then the main thing we are looking for is the course name, the schedule in terms of start time, end time, the days, and who is the teacher teaching that course, and then who are the students enrolled in the course. Very simple interface. As an administrator, all we are asking you is provide us basic information. In the future, you would also be able to provide, if you have a Webex devices also installed in those classrooms, you could also specify the Webex device in details here. And what we will do is, so assuming that you have the CSV well populated and you have given it to us, now what we will do is we will go back here and we will import those courses. Okay, so that same CSV I'm going to import, and as I import that, I'm going to bring in those courses here. Now, another thing I want to highlight, we also understand that there are times when this information changes by the day, because you have students who are who are adding into the courses, the students who are being dropped from the courses. So all you have to do is whenever you have a new CSV, it could be a daily, it could be weekly, or how you want to do it, or it could be every few hours. You simply provide the same CSV to us again. We are going to simply overwrite the information. Or if you have a new course being added, we are going to take the same CSV and filter the new course and add that new course. So this is how we are bringing in all of the courses, schedules, student information into the classrooms.
That's
Now,
great.
talking about
A lot of flexibility there for an ever changing student course load.
absolutely. Now, Niki, going back to your question about what are a couple of new things we have added for the teachers. So I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah,
Number
office
one,
hours and student attendance, right?
yes. So I'm going to start with the student attendance.
Okay.
So here, as you can see, for my class, I know that who are the students who attended that class, what time they got into the class, and you can simply go and look at the view attendance. And as you do that, it's going to give you the data. In this case, so let me just go for this one. So this is where I'm going to find the information about the students who had attended the class. Now, there is an option which I'm going to show you where you will be able to download that CSV. Okay, so essentially, you will have the whole student information, all the students who attended the class, and that CSV you can download it. Now, the next thing I will talk about is the office hours. So this is as a teacher, this is where I'm sharing my availability. I'm saying that I'm available Monday from 8 to 10:30, Tuesday 9 to 11. Wednesday 8:30 to 9, so forth. So what I'm doing here is, as a teacher, I am sharing my availability where I can meet with my students for the one-on-one. Okay, so this is me as a teacher sharing the times where I can meet. Now, same way as a student, when I log in as a student, I'm going to see my teacher's availability. And what I will be able to do is pick and choose a time that works for me. And I can say, for example, I want to meet 8 a.m. on Monday. So I pick and choose that time. And that is where I will be scheduling a meeting to meet with my teacher. So what's the flow? The flow it will look like is teacher, they schedule the time, student, they log in, they pick a time, and they say, this is the time I want to meet. So I'm going to send a meeting invite to both the teacher and the student for that particular time. Okay, so this is about the whole, the office hours functionality from for the student and the teacher. Now, right now, what I do not have in the product, but again, coming in next few weeks, will be the capability where I could provide the similar interface, similar ease of use for the parent-teacher conference. So essentially, when we talk about now, office hours are great for high schools or the higher ed, but there are these, K to 8 parents where they still, where the teachers still want to meet with the parent. So because we already are integrating with the student information system, and most of these SIS already has the information about the parents' name, parents' email addresses for the students. So using the same interface, the teacher will be able to now schedule for a specific student, their parents, because they have the parents' email address, so they will be able to schedule a time to meet with the parents. So in that case, the interface will look like very similar here that, I can say that I want to meet with Johnny's parents at 8 a.m. on Monday. Then as I pick and choose that time, I'm going to send a meeting invite to both the teacher and on the email addresses of the parents which we got from the SIS. Okay, so this is how we will be pretty much doing the whole, the office hours / parent-teacher conferences.
It looks great. This Webex Classrooms looks like it'll be such a great benefit to the Webex education community. It's very exciting to see it come together. Thanks so much, Devinder. Now that most schools, are in distance and hybrid education, there's some additional ways that Webex has been helping teachers be more successful in this virtual environment. And just wondering if you could take a few minutes to kind of outline some of those areas for us.
Sure. So, again, as I stated, this whole Webex Classroom is something we are really excited about. But we are also excited about, introducing the different features we are bringing in the product. And we are also excited about few things what we are doing to make the whole hybrid learning experience seamless for the institutions who already have the Webex Room devices, or they're planning to add Webex Room devices. Okay. Now the good news is that we have the devices for the needs of whether you are trying to deliver a class at your home, or you are a teacher who is doing a class into the auditorium. Now, and in the middle, we have all these other scenarios where I'm a teacher who is doing a hybrid class where I have few students, like large classroom, where I have few students who are coming to the class, again following the social distancing norms, and then the other students who are still taking the class from their homes. So as a teacher, I can still have my device, whether it's a Webex board or it's a RoomKit Plus with a touch display. So whatever I have already into my classrooms, I would be delivering the same experience, which is the students are used to when every student is in the physical classroom. So this is the beauty of the whole hybrid classroom, where no matter whether you are physically in the classrooms or you are remotely, with the whole series of the Webex Room devices we have available, we can make the experience exactly the same. Now, this is all about how you can bring in the Webex devices. Now, I'm also going to talk about few of the other features what either we have just delivered into Webex meetings products, or which are coming in this month or next month. Okay, the few of the things are the breakout rooms, the fact that the lobbies will be secured, just like the PMRs, which are already you can wait in the PMR, same way you can wait in the lobby. You will have an option for the hard mute, which is like as the students come in, they will be muted by default. The hand raise feature, which we delivered a couple of months back, and the co-host feature, where now teacher can allocate or assign other co-hosts, so that way teacher can focus on the teaching, and the co-host can take care of the other peripherals that that come into the place as you are teaching. Okay, so in addition to that, I also want to take this opportunity to talk about the integration what we just delivered with Schoology. So for most of you who are who have been using Webex integration to the various LMS, so you are aware that we have delivered the integration with Blackboard, Moodle, Sakai, Desire to Learn, and Canvas. Now we also going to support Schoology, and as you are aware that Schoology is the leading LMS into the K-12. So with that, now we have the K-12 teachers and educators can also leverage the same integration, same experience. With that, I will quickly jump into giving a short demo of the breakout room feature.
Right. So for the breakout rooms, the first thing you need to do as a teacher would be you need to go and enable the breakout sessions. So this is where you go and you said enable the breakouts. And once you enable them, this is where you will be able to do your breakout session assignments. You will have two options. You will have them do it manual or automatic. Breakout session assignments. So in this case, I am doing it manually. And the way I'm doing that is, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to say that these are which teams are. By default, it just says breakout session 1, 2, 3, 4. But here I can go and rename them. I can say green team, red team, and so forth. Now, right now, I only have one participant, Niki, but in a real world where as a teacher I'm teaching, I will have multitude of students who will be in the class. So what I can do is from the left panel, I can pick and choose the students and start assigning them into the different breakout sessions. And once I do my assignment, and here, as you can see here is that I can keep on adding more breakout sessions, assuming that I started with 4. But if I need to add more, I can keep on adding sessions, and I can whatever they say, orange team, whatever I need to do it, and or if I need to delete some breakout sessions, I can simply go and delete it. Okay, and once I'm happy with the way my breakout rooms are, I'm going to say and just start the breakout sessions. And this is where basically I'm going to have all these students put into the different breakout rooms, and for each of those breakout rooms, they will automatically be started. Okay. Now, this is how you can really configure the breakout rooms. Now, I'm going to go and talk about the settings. The few things I want to highlight here is, one is, so once you are starting those breakout sessions, you have an option where you can say that after a specific time, I want to have all the students come back to the main meeting. And this option, essentially what it allows you to do is, it allows you to have those students come to the breakout sessions later. So essentially, when I say start breakout sessions, it's going to send a notification to every student. But if you have this option checked, so if you have unchecked, that means every student will be in the breakout session immediately. But if I have this option checked, that means that I'm giving the flexibility where these students can join those breakout sessions later. Okay, maybe I'm in the middle of something, or I'm in the previous breakout and or the previous meeting. So I want the flexibility that I can join these breakout sessions later. Now this session is basically where it gives the teacher a flexibility where they say that, okay, guys, I'm giving you an assignment. This is a 30 minutes assignment. So, and 30 minutes, I will automatically close out all the breakout rooms, and then everyone will be coming to the main meeting. Okay. And the last setting is more about that before I am closing down all the breakout rooms, I want to have the countdown. I can say that students, we have last 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, wrap up your assignment, be ready, because the breakouts will be over in 2 minutes. So whatever the time I want to give here, I have the flexibility starting from 10 seconds to 120 seconds. I can start those. I can set the timer. Okay. And this is where you can go and simply reset the settings the way you need to do that. Again, one thing just to wrap up, you have an option whether you want to do the breakouts automatically or manually. If you do automatically, then we will randomly go and we can choose the students, and put them in the different breakout rooms, or you can do it manually. So this is a very high level overview of what the breakout sessions look like.
Thanks so much, Devinder. It was great to talk with you today and really have a good discussion and see firsthand how Webex is helping the future of distance and hybrid learning. And this is a wrap for us today. Thanks so much for joining us as we explore Webex Classrooms and recent enhancements to the Webex portfolio. Hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Devinder.